also know if I don't give it, it's
at some point,
bad. Yeah. He's gonna check the record.
Jonah doesn't like sour cream. Replace them no matter what they are, unless they're full.
This is 4.
Out of
5?
nope. Is a bit, but and it feels like they have to help us because it's so old.
Yeah. Oh my god. Where's the other handheld? Oh, it might be down.
Oh, and I need to grab a couple other ones. Oh my god, I don't know where it is. Is it in that pouch?
No.
Nope, not working. Why isn't it working? Testing.
Because it's not combined. So that has to be on. Should it be combined?
Yeah, because I think they want both.
Yeah, this is familiar. Testing. This is on 3.
What's up?
Okay. This one
Nice.
is full. Da-da-da-da.
Can you open this?
Oh, yes.
Sorry, I didn't address you. It's hard. I'm struggling. These lapels. Are these? Oh, gotta replace that. Oh, nice. Wow, this is like a multi. Here, check this too.
See if it works.
And if the battery is any less than full,
Check
replace
the
it.
battery level.
Are these not new?
They
Well,
were
works.
good enough, but not good enough.
Is it 4? Is it at
It's
full?
3 bars.
Replace it.
Roger that.
Because the girl comes in and he checks it himself.
Okay.
Everybody gets yelled at. Our gross incompetence.
Ah,
Nice.
4 bars. 5 bars.
Oh, you just replaced this one?
Not that one. This one.
Yeah, it's missing this.
Where's the other podium?
Backside. In the back
There's
corner.
probably the mic cover on that.
Oh, well, I'll just put one back.
hope that's enough.
I really wonder what the cord is.
Is it not in there? I didn't see it in there. What about these? Really?
What are we gonna do?
Is it gonna be another one of those that's behind the? Okay. What's the other cover?
Because you're working.
Yeah. Well, I was typing in like a summer approval form, and they're always like, "Hey, you want to work early?" I'm like, "Sure."
Wait, where are you working?
Here
Oh. But you have to go somewhere. What?
for a course.
Oh,
I'm gonna take
sorry.
civics at Northern Virginia Community College. Yeah. We don't.
I tried for first year.
It's hard. Transportation.
Yeah, he was like, "Oh, did you type this?" And I was like, like, what are we gonna do? Oh, cool. It worked.
What do you know? Oh, that's
But one time, Professor Efimov used his iPad, so need a lightning adapter.
Professor who?
Efimov?
Oh.
He's in DME. Her freshman year too, and one was a repeat.
Oh yeah. Now I would like to introduce the associate dean for. That was me being Dean Dolling.
What?
That was Dean Dolling.
Mic check, mic check. Mic check, mic check.
We could probably put it right here.
It was on Adam's cart.
Oh. Right? But maybe they'll put out of the way of the. We're gonna put it in here now and then move it later out.
Maybe.
Oh, you mean the? Oh, the blue thing? Oh, it's in here.
Just kidding, Jonathan. I found the fourth.
What did I do? Oh, we found it! Hooray! Jovial, you're the best. Nathan, how are you? I feel like we haven't seen each other.
Paycheck doesn't say that.
True.
Don't you worry. We'll have plenty of more plans
cool.
to bring us together.
Okay, 4 mics. This was messy.
We also, when I
So we on YouTube lapel?
all right. There's a trick to it. And because it's far enough away, it's definitely manageable.
If we open it for, I think we'll have it been used.
I think so too. I feel like the time will come back. Yeah.
Then watch your fingers.
Well, like I said, if you're around, I mean, I'm willing to go check things out. You know,
should turn it
if
actually.
we find, if we narrow it down and say, can we go see it in the summer? You know.
Or maybe they'll invite us to some more cocktail hours.
Right. Or,
Yes. Okay, let's see.
I literally wrote her and I said, he's not needed as a student. So, like, I was like, he's welcome to go to these things. But,
Yeah, I don't think I have. I'm that night.
yeah.
Don't take it, yeah.
I was like, he's not like a staff person that works in my office that you're like, oh, let's come to our happy hour.
Easy, easy, easy. Okay, hold on.
So are you good, DJ?
Yeah, I think so. They just said I'm gonna need to be careful to like stay in the vicinity because it's Bluetooth, so it's gotta still have like this, you know.
You can never leave.
Yeah.
So if you have to use the bathroom, you need a substitute.
Exactly.
Guys, hold this.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, it should be fine. It was just working fine. I'm just gonna go like put this into
Charger?
charge it for a little while
That'd
just
be
to
good.
make sure it doesn't die or anything.
Cool. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
And then Nava's already started clearing up, so
Okay.
if you can check on them.
Yeah, because then I'm gonna move signs around too. So that after I go put this upstairs, I'm gonna come back down to the first floor and start moving signs around.
That would be great.
Cool. All right.
Yeah, because we have the permanent ones
Yeah, that's
right
what
now.
we-
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like to like unstick and pull and then restick.
Yeah.
I'll show you what the trick is.
I'm gonna go upstairs.
You guys are good.
Yeah, we'll go. Yep. I want you to check on the store.
Okay.
But don't,
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, that's what we
Kirsten is
asked
still up there, right, waiting.
Yeah, she said they were doing okay.
Yeah. Well, apparently they're deliberating.
What?
Right?
I don't know.
There's something that's not yeah, so we have extra over here.
Yeah, it has,
Okay, awesome.
things on this side. This should go. Yeah. This is here.
download both of them and then open.
I kind of like, okay, personally, this is very hard for me to, not very hard, but like the way
Because
it
of your
is,
height?
yeah. Like, yeah, it might be a little better up here, but
Yeah, it is kind of, but you have to go with what they want. Go with what they want.
oh, there we go.
It would have been awesome if we can put it right there.
That would have been so cool. Oh.
sir. Where was that?
He actually just running through those slides.
Sure, if you can give us 1 second. Where was it? I've seen it before. Oh, that takes up most of it. Now let's try to see if it works right.
Oh yeah.
You, Mr. Pelton?
Yes, I am.
It's good to meet you. I'm Adam.
Oh,
Hi,
hey.
Adam.
So Pelton.
Welcome. So I think we have your PowerPoint and everything
Yes,
here.
just thought I would just run through them to refresh my memory.
Oh, do you want to use the clicker?
That's fine.
Oh, that's weird. Does it look like that on the screen?
How does this work?
Mhm.
You guys want this?
Because there's a secret engineer in all of
Does that
this.
get? Do you want to move it here?
Yeah,
That's
just
fine.
glue it together or
There's
what?
a secret engineer in all of
They,
this.
they do appear in the
Yeah, yeah.
How did you?
I said, abracadabra.
I got the microphone.
Presto.
This is
Yeah, you used the.
That's
Oh, that's kind of funny.
That was kind of like that situation.
So the machine shop can forge us.
It's not gonna hold my hand. You gotta wait till the glue demands it.
This is still better than what we used to have.
Yeah, because you still can see the person's face.
Lester Shore.
Raul doesn't want me to drill into the podium.
Yeah.
But after seeing it come right here, we should probably mount at this.
If we could mount it right there and have you
Yeah.
both these, that would be.
That would be cool.
So have you authored any more books lately?
Well, I just submitted one on smart cities that will be out in September.
Yeah.
And working on two more. So
Two more, my gosh. I felt like writing like a 30-page research paper was difficult. I can't imagine churning out like these books on engineering and higher level thought every couple years.
I saw on Tuesday, but I forgot. Yep. There's a flickering light. It's like why? It only flickers on from your keyboard. There we
There
go.
it is. Oh.
Oh, and your speech is right here, I think.
actually, I've got
Oh.
here as well, but
Cool.
that's good to know.
I think you're blue.
you could just go home and watch it there.
Get out of here. Who's Sierra?
Oh.
Hello. Welcome to the Pelton Award presentation. Schedule is welcome remarks from the dean. About 3 minutes. Introduction of the Pelton competition. 3 minutes. Pelton competition presentation. 15 minutes.
I was going to try and play with his schematics to get them the right way around, and I was like, forget it. It was too, I know, I thought it should be easy, and it was not easy.
Keep talking.
I tried.
Pelton Competition Awards, 5 minutes. Innovation Awards, 5 minutes. C's Undergraduate Awards, Part 1, 5 minutes. Senior Design Awards, 15 minutes. C's Undergraduate Awards, Part 2, 5 minutes. Closing remarks from the Associate Dean, 2 minutes. Again, this is the Pelton Award for Outstanding Senior Project and C's Undergraduate Awards ceremony. Thursday, May 17, 2018.
Happy birthday to Bogdan.
Oh, wait, really?
Yeah.
Testing, testing.
I think you need to hum more.
Really?
Like Hanson.
Oh.
Bop.
Is that good, Adam? Are we good? Okay, thank you.
Is there anybody there? Do you are comfortable clicking, or do you prefer someone to click for you? Because we do have a remote. So
I would actually prefer just to be able to ask someone to say the next line.
okay, I will be happy to do that. Yes,
Okay.
absolutely. Yep. I'm going to talk to the dean and Dr. Nawahari, the MC, just to ask the same thing. I'm more than happy to click.
So I don't know whether to congratulate you.
Give me a little head nod.
Escaping being parole.
Yes.
All right.
Exactly why hi. Sorry to hear the news, but as I say, I thought you were eligible for parole. Did it look better than? Yes.
It starts at 4, right?
Yeah, what time is it?
I'm like, it's 3:50 and there's nobody.
It's been a long day.
3:50.
Wait, you want me to read again?
Yeah, keep on talking. You did a great job.
And now an excerpt from my poem.
That's fine. Yes, I just got back from South Africa and to Mars.
Happy birthday, Bogdan.
I heard it. I was in the room upstairs.
No.
I was in the room upstairs.
That's awesome.
Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3.
I just got up and said, oh, thank God, no, what?
Yeah, because we really.
Everyone's clear. Now, we haven't done PPH yet, however.
Yeah.
The clickety-
Do you want me to clickety click, or do you
want
click?
to? If you go at your own pace, click yourself. Are you gonna click yourself?
I don't have any click, do I?
Well, yeah, you can. I'm saying, so
I do. I have to click.
Do you want to? So you can talk and click at your own pace.
Or do you want me to click?
Yeah, yeah. No, but I didn't know that I had click. No, mine is script.
So I can click. Pelton to sit on the left side reserve.
Bogdan knows.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
they're presenting.
So,
Yeah.
Over there in that one.
But anyone else can sit in any award winner can sit anywhere else.
actually read some of this. I didn't read some of the script.
Sorry.
Shit. So then I thought I'll put some jokes in there.
Oh, there's not.
I ran out of time.
Oh, you thought you would? I was
Yeah.
like, I did do like so. This is all you.
Yeah.
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 I mean, you the like. Yeah, I mean, you the color.
The Pelton Award for we're testing. I'm sorry. For outstanding senior project and C's undergraduate award ceremony. We're testing the sound.
I'll just put it here.
Now we're no longer obscured by the massive.
Yeah. Well, actually, this yesterday was here, but then I told Rahul the problem here is in this we can't have the script.
Yeah, this is the master copy. I have my own copy
Okay.
printed out, but I just have
So
I have
should,
very short.
You know how it didn't fit when you were putting it on? It was like,
Where you were so nervous. You
yeah,
swelled up,
exactly,
so it wouldn't
exactly.
come off. Now you're back to
Yeah,
normal.
yeah. How is yours? Yours
Mine
fits
is,
well?
yeah, mine is a good fit, but I was telling Pelton about every 3 or 4 months I use it. Because I go to the bathroom, wash my hands, everything gets soapy, and it slides off, and then you realize 2 hours later you don't have it.
Yeah.
And then you go back, but it's nowhere to be found.
How do you just get a new one?
I just get a new one.
That's-
They're only a few dollars each.
How much?
A few dollars.
You order it from somewhere?
Well, no, I get it from Mike.
Oh,
But
okay.
I probably had 30 or 40 of these over the years.
That's great. That's like me and watermelons. I just
If I knew definitively, I mean, you know them actually too. So Sam Sarah's not here, even though we're gonna. Yeah, yeah.
Billy Miller's not.
Yep. But,
But,
yes, what's her face is here. Yep, here. Yeah, that's what I don't. She was. I told her. I was told she was coming.
But Shelley's going to present.
Oh.
Yeah, I was instructed by the head guy to wait the customary another one. It's like 4 o'clock. There's still people coming in.
Oh, and Dr. Pelton's here. So that was the other person I was like, where? Yeah, yeah. No, I mean.
I'm ready whenever you want.
Okay.
Good afternoon. Silence in the court. Thank you. I think everybody knows me, but I see a few faces that I don't recognize, so I'll introduce myself. I'm David Darling. I'm Dean of the School of Engineering and Applied Science here at GW. I'm happy to say that. What do you think? Yet another great day for Cs, right? We just seem to have one day after another like this. It's quite amazing. It's getting quite exhausting, and there's more to come, right? Any graduating seniors here? You're going to have a great night tomorrow night. Everybody knows it's graduation in the Smith Center, right? You have tickets. You have tickets for your families. And you probably, because we have to line up outside, if you have some kind of poncho, the plastic things, I would recommend you bring one because the university is not going to give them to us. So we're on our own. And then, just testing the memory of the graduating seniors, what is Sunday morning? Commencement on the Mall. And the university will distribute ponchos if it's raining, because to the graduates, but not the guests. So sorry, guests. And does everybody know that in the past it was right, below the Washington Monument, but it's moved closer to the Capitol? You should see it, but go to the right place, right? So go a little early to make sure you're there. But anyway, I want to welcome everybody to the 2018 Pelton Award for Outstanding Senior Design Project
and our SEAS Undergraduate Awards ceremony. If my counting skills work, I believe this is our 9th Pelton competition. Joe? I would say you think you would have said 8? All right. Well, fake news from the podium. I think it's either 8 or 9. I don't think it much matters. It's a tradition, and it's a fabulous way to showcase the talents of our students. For guests, and maybe for some students too, the Pelton Award was established by Dr. Joseph Pelton, who's sitting here in the front row, and you'll hear from him shortly. He is a former faculty member in the Department of Electrical and Computer Engineering here. He'll be introduced shortly by Associate Dean Narahari, and then Joe will come up and say a few words. I want to finish my very, very brief welcome today by thanking everybody who contributed to this event today. And it does take a village to make these events like this work. I can't name everybody, and I know from the past that if I do attempt to name everybody, I will leave somebody out. And they will be offended, so it's best not to name people. So the students, our creative students, to the faculty who mentored the students, and to the staff, the judges, everybody, thanks so much. This is a great event. I really appreciate it. The judges are listed on the back of the cover, the back cover of the program, if you want to see who they are. So, Dean Narahari, come up and kick this off. Whoops.
Thanks, David. So welcome to our annual Pelton Prize competition and the SEAS Undergraduate Award ceremony. It's kind of going to be in 2 parts, the schedule for the evening. So as we have a number of people to recognize this evening, we're going to get started first with the Pelton Prize for Outstanding Entrepreneurial Senior Project. And now I'd like to introduce Dr. Pelton, who will give you a brief history of the award, and then we'll get the show on the road. Right? Dr. Pelton.
Well, it's great to be back at SEAS. I understand that we have now named this part of the year after SEAS. I'm going to go to England to escape the weather myself tomorrow. So, the purpose of the SEAS Senior Design Project is to spur innovation. About 3,500 years ago, Socrates said there is only one evil, ignorance, and only one good, knowledge. But there are at least 3 goods that come with education and knowledge. Now, I call them the 3 I's: inspiring minds, innovation, and initiative. And that is what this prize competition is all about. We urgently need innovation, especially what I would call green innovation, because planet Earth has now entered the so-called Anthropocene age, which means that humans are driving our geology and our Earth more than any other factor. And that's not a good thing. We Earthlings live on a very special planet that's defined by a very special number. And can we have the first slide up? This is what the Egyptians call the Orthorus, and it's basically a snake, an asp swallowing itself. And essentially, what is N? N is a very strange number of 10 to the 36th. And what does that mean? It means that if you take an atom and you expand it 10 times, and then 100 times, and then expand it 36 times, you actually get to a planet about the size of Jupiter. And what's significant about that? It's because at that stage, the pull of gravity basically overcomes the strong nuclear force, and you get something called fusion, and you basically have a star. So Jupiter is actually just a little bit larger, and it would have been a star. And so what does that mean? It means that our universe is actually defined by n, because what if n had been different? What if n had been 10 to the 34th? Well, in that case, humans wouldn't exist, because something maybe the size of an insect would be able to survive the gravitational force. And probably Earth would be a star or something close to the size of Earth. So that's just one thought that my colleague, Lord Martin Rees, in an article basically explained to me, and we actually share an award. So, and he did an article for me. So I think that's just my thought for the day. What if n had been different? So what about the Pelton family? It actually has been associated with inventions for a long time. Lester Allen Pelton, he moved to California in the 1950s, and in 1970 he invented a high-pressure water turbine, as well as what's called the Pelton water wheel. And that is one of the most efficient forms of green energy we have today. So he developed the first hydroelectric generator, and he is in the Inventors Hall of Fame. In the hills of Norway, the Alps, the Andes, and other places, you will still see Pelton water wheels. In 1903, Edward Pelton, my grandfather, invented the corn-picking machine. And this was manufactured by a McCormick company after my father's patent expired. McCormick made millions. My grandfather didn't. My father, I.W. Pelton, invented at Badger Meters the world's most, next slide, parking meter. This we don't talk about so much. It's something that I hope that all of you will aspire to at least have one patent to bring one innovation to the world. In the past 3 years, I've been privileged to work with some 80 scientists and engineers and lawyers on a study that fed into the UN Committee on the Peaceful Use of Outer Space and Unispace Plus 50 that will be in Vienna in June of this year. And it basically considers what new regulations do we need to exploit the values of space. Anyway, I believe in design studies. We did design studies when I was at the University of Colorado, and that worked out, and that's what inspired me to start this prize here at GW. I do believe that we do need new inventions to save our planet. Lester Allen Pelton gave us one of the key green technologies that can help us save the planet, and that was a century and a half ago. Now is the time for you to invent the green technology that can save our planet. I have a new book coming out called The Cyber Revolution that basically says if we don't, we're in very deep trouble. So I wish you all well, and I would just like to end by saying that it's been my pleasure to work very closely with Dean Doling for the last 8 or 9 years, and that I think we all deserve to give him a great round of applause for what he's done for this. When I was here, this building didn't exist, and this building alone is one of his great triumphs for the university. So thank you, Dean Dolan.
Thank you, Dr. Pelton, for your continued support to SEAS and our students. So a brief overview of the Pelton Prize competition. So each department selected one project from their year-long capstone. So every student in SEAS is put through the grinder for 1 year. If you disagree with that, you can say so now. But, so each department selected one project that meets the criteria for the best entrepreneurial senior design project from that department. Right? And this selection itself was difficult because each department had a number of projects to pick from. So before we get to the final results, what we'd like to do is have each of the 5 nominees, so these were the winners from each department, come in and give an elevator pitch, a short pitch telling us what their project was. So we're going to start in alphabetical order. From the biomedical engineering department, I'd like to introduce Konstantin Mitic, Tanya Singh, Sarah Sofer, Trisha Talapatra,
Hello? Oh, okay. So our device is a novel patient transfer system that is compatible with current lift systems. So currently in the United States, there are $2 billion of insurance costs associated with musculoskeletal disorders in nursing employees just in the US. One of the primary causes for those injuries is patient movement. So although there are current systems that help reduce this risk, our system is more versatile, more effective, and it's cost efficient compared to these other slings.
So our device is able to transfer patients to and from the supine, seated, and standing positions. There's currently not a device on the market that can do this in a single device. It's also comfortable, and the patient can toilet while in the sling. It also can be operated by a single caregiver, which has a lot of applications in home health care and also hospitals where they might be short-staffed. In addition to doing all of this, which is already leaps and bounds better than what is available on the market currently, it can also be used for people post-hip injury or hip replacement because it stabilizes the hips. So this opens up the technology for a whole new user group. So overall, our device will revolutionize the way patient transfers are performed and enhance the safety and the comfort for both the patient and the caregiver.
Thank you. And I guess we could use it if one was too lazy, right, to wake up, get up on our own. So next, from computer science, I'd like to introduce Vic Reiki and Jeffrey Schultes.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Vic.
And I'm Jeff.
And we are EcoFlow, where we make your air much more personal.
Within the United States, 750 billion kilowatt hours are consumed by HVAC systems alone, and this is just in the commercial sector.
And that's a lot of zeros, considering that we've recently pulled out of the Paris Climate Agreement. Now, consider this hallway here in SEH. Here, we have a central AC system that provides heating and cooling to all the individuals in this room. There's one problem, though. There's no one in this room except for one person that's way at the back doing work in the middle of the night.
And this is the problem that we're trying to solve. This is the problem that we're trying to solve. Instead of heating or cooling the entire building to ensure that this one person is comfortable, instead, why don't we just heat or cool the space around him? This saves energy because we have to cool a smaller volume.
And this is what we kept in mind when we generated our vision, represented by this render. Here, we have an HVAC system retrofitted to a desk that's able to provide airflow straight to the user. That way, it's much more localized.
The way it works, we have an IR image that acts as the eyes of our system. We take in images, and we're able to act upon this. By using machine learning and data analysis, we're able to determine how we should effectively cool the user and whether or not the person is there, so we can maximize efficiency.
And once we have all this image data collected, we'll be able to generate commands that attend to each of the individual's comfort. So if we wanted to control their temperature, if we wanted to control where they're sitting and which side they're facing, they'll be able to receive the air wherever they are, so long as they're at their desk.
Yep. So,
once again, my name is Vic.
And I'm Jeff.
And we are EcoFlow. Your space,
your air.
Thank you.
From electrical and computer engineering, I'd like to introduce Graham Feldman and William Horowitz.
Hi, I'm Will.
I'm Graham.
And we are the Price Reactive Energy Storage System, better known as PRESS. Okay. So as we know, electricity demand fluctuates periodically throughout the day. You might expect more power to be used in the afternoon when people are going home, turning on their lights, turning on their fireplace, things like that. But in order for electric companies to actually meet this demand, they have to have peak generation, which is costly, inefficient, and on top of that, the peak generation generates more greenhouse emissions and is generally environmentally detrimental. That also, the peak generation, which is expensive, passes on the cost to consumers, which is a general negative for everyone. So PRESS aims to take advantage of the price fluctuations to, in the short term, make a profit by the old economic principle of buying low and selling high. And then also generally flattening out the demand for electricity throughout the day so that you no longer have these gluts of electricity demand in the afternoon, making it more efficient overall. The high impact of PRESS seeks to stabilize demand so that you no longer have the kind of peaks and valleys in electrical consumption that you have, therefore having a more efficient, greener, and overall cheaper cost of electricity. On top of that, you can interface with intermittent energy sources so that you can make the best use of sources such as wind power, where you might have very cheap, very good energy during high wind times and none other times. So you can sell it at the optimal time. And you can also have a free market solution to a microgrid environment where you have many producers producing a lot of electricity for everyone and creating a marketplace from which you can buy any electricity from anyone within the microgrid and eliminating the redundancy and the monopoly of centralized producers that we have in today's system. Thank you.
Next up, from Engineering Management and Systems Engineering, I'd like to introduce Elizabeth Hutton, Roma Patel, Lindsay Ryan, and Josh Sawyer.
All right. So our project was an evaluation of traffic mitigation strategies during a pre-hurricane emergency evacuation. Hurricane evacuations are becoming a big problem, and with climate change, the storms are only predicted to get worse and more frequent. So obviously, an efficient evacuation is going to help everybody. And so our goal was to evaluate the impact of various mitigation strategies of traffic flow in a pre-hurricane emergency evacuation using a software called PTV Vissim.
So we used this software to create, first of all, a baseline model of a basic hurricane evacuation, and then adjusted this model to create abstractions of various mitigating strategies. Our results concluded that the most effective mitigating strategy was something called contraflow, in which you take the opposite direction lanes and allow traffic to run against the typical grain. So in the case of Florida, which we studied, that would be allowing the southbound lanes to carry northbound traffic to increase the rate at which people are able to get to safety. In order to further apply the ideas and conclusions that we found in our study, we have created a proof of concept for an application that creates an interface between emergency officials and evacuees, but also collects additional data regarding each of the evacuees to use crowdsourcing to better enable our product to predict and advise and evaluate evacuation traffic. Thank you.
Last nominee from Mechanical and Aerospace Engineering, I'd like to introduce Ali Ahmed, Jakari Matthews, Aaron Patron, Zachary Switzer, and Feng Zhang.
We're Team Vikasa, and we want to recreate how you see solar. We want to recreate it in the sense that we want to see it as an opportunity, not a problem. We want to look at the market of somewhere like India, somewhere that solar is readily wanted, but not readily given to the people who we think could really use it, such as rural India. We want to give it to their hands in a way that operates politically, technically, and socially in an acceptable manner. So with that, our scope really integrated a system that brings solar in a portable way, to fold a solar panel in a beautiful way that provides energy to rural India, to then open up many realms. And so to ask questions what solar can do instead of what it is.
Congratulations to all these teams for being selected to represent each department. As I said, there was a selection in each department, so everyone has won at the department level. So let's give them all a round of applause. Earlier today, while most of you were either enjoying your lunch here or busy getting wet while walking, these 5 teams were presenting their projects to a panel of judges. Yes, they were grilled, but if it makes you feel any better, they only had 20 minutes. The judges had to sit there for 2.5 hours. And they were faculty, so we made sure faculty worked. Okay. So the elevator pitch you just heard was kind of the culmination of the judging process. And while I toss a coin to decide who won, I'd like to ask Dean Dolling and Dr. Pelton to return to the podium to present this year's Pelton Award for Outstanding Entrepreneurial Senior Project.
Okay, we'll go with third place first. Third place award, Elizabeth Harton, Roman Patel, Joshua Sawyer, and Lindsay Ryan of EMSE Department for their project entitled Evaluation of Traffic Mitigation Strategies for Pre-Hurricane Emergency Evacuation. And this team will receive $600 plus an additional $200 because the project was deemed both green and patentable. So congratulations, guys. Come on up. So the second, is this working? Yeah. The second place award is going to Ali Ahmed, Jakari Matthews, Aaron Patron, Zachary Switzer, and Feng Zhang of Mechanical and Aerospace Engineering for their project entitled Solar Flower. This team receives $800 plus an additional $200 because their project has been deemed both green and patentable.
Pretend we like each other.
And first place award goes to Paige Bodie, Konstantin Mitik, Tanya Singh, Sarah Sofa, and Trisha Talapatra of the BME department. And this team will receive $1,200 plus an additional $200 because the project was deemed patentable. And it's I am going to be one of the first customers. Yeah, we can sit down for a minute. We come back up.
It's you.
Oh, no, it is me. Anything that's colored green is me in this podium. This session, well, first of all, congratulations to all the participants, and certainly the winners of the Pelton Outstanding Entrepreneurial Senior Project Competition. So congratulations, guys. The next section in the program concerns the SEAS Innovation Challenge Awards. I think most of you know about this program, but I'll say a few words about it. This year's second annual SEAS Innovation Challenge was sponsored and managed by our Innovation Center. The challenge this year was to use readily available technologies to find low-cost solutions to Puerto Rico's continuing needs resulting from last year's two devastating hurricanes. The Innovation Challenge Finals was quite an event. Who was there over in Tompkins in the car park? Wow, not a lot of people. You missed a fabulous event. It was a beautiful sunny day. There was a band, a keynote speaker, a documentary film, panel discussions, food, music, demos of the projects. This all-day event actually was managed by the Innovation Center's management team and supported by the Innovation Students Fellows. So thanks, guys, for all the work you put in. The purpose of the Innovation Challenge is to foster innovative thinking in a creative environment whereby one or up to a team of 3 current SEAS undergrad or grad students compete to develop and demonstrate their most innovative challenge solution. Now we'd like to publicly recognize the winners of the challenge. So, are you ready? Drum roll. We don't have drum rolls, do we? We should. Can you do one? So third place winner was Dor Hirschbar-Guy, EMSE Department, and Kirsten Washley, EMSE Department. And let me just say a word or two about the project. The project was to deliver solar generators to their community partner, a nonprofit educational farm, and provide them with an educational manual so that they could repeat the device. In fact, I think Dor, the hardware is actually going to Puerto Rico, correct? It is, yeah. So come on up and be recognized.
Kristen's here. Dor's not here.
Oh, he's not here? I could have sworn Dor replied to me when I asked, but he's not here. But he's working? Poor excuse. Ellie, with Photoshop, can you get Dor into the picture? Try. Second place goes to Gregor Peach of the CS department, Bianca I'm going to mangle the name, apologies, Carpinez from the BME department, and Erica Robertson from biology. Is only one of us here? Okay. So Bianca is here. So let me say a word or two about the project. The description here is the project aimed to create a mesh cellular network by connecting many low-cost solar-powered units. In fact, I saw that. So let's move over. I guess that, Ellie, that photo needs 2 people added to it. And first place goes to Joseph Shiaretzi, CS department, sorry. I don't know why I want to say CSE. And Abigail Demisi, MAE department. Is either of them here? Oh, they're both here. Great. So their project developed a device called MeshFi, which uses radio waves to allow for decentralized communications networks. Congratulations. Dr. Narahari is going to come back to the podium, but before I sit down, I'd just like to say, if you're not aware of our Innovation Center in the basement of Tompkins Hall, you should get over there and take a look. There's an incredible amount of activity goes on over there. And I think Anna Maria Konya-Tannen is here somewhere. I saw her earlier. She's sitting right at the back there. She is the director of the center. And I want to thank Randy Graves, too, for promoting this second challenge. Randy isn't here, I think. Is he? No, he's not here. He's an alum of our department, a member of our advisory council, and he works about 80 hours a week here in SEAS as a volunteer. He's terrific. So, Bagi, you want to come back?
Just to make another pitch, I think Anna Maria was going to work with some of the teams and find investors for them. So get engaged. Tell the juniors and sophomores about the Innovation Center. So we'll now transition to the next portion of our program, the annual SEAS Undergraduate Awards. These awards honor students who have made outstanding contributions and achievements as a member of SEAS. So once again, I'd like to ask Dean Dorling to join me at the podium to congratulate our winners. We do need that harness soon.
We need this sling.
Right. So we begin with 3 awards made to underclassmen. And I'm going to ask Professor Heller to join me. So the first prize is the Steve and Shelley Heller Award. This prize is awarded to a woman undergraduate sophomore computer science student that is both academically strong and has demonstrated leadership potential. This year, the Steve and Shelley Heller Award is presented to Shiva Omrani Sabhagi. The next 2 award winners are not here, but we will announce the awards. So the next prize is the Susan Shin Award. This prize was established in memory of Susan Shin. It is presented to an undergraduate rising senior who exhibits the qualities of compassion and selflessness in mentoring underclassmen. This year, the award is presented to Samsara Counts. The third prize to underclassmen is the Tau Beta Pi Outstanding Sophomore Award. This award recognizes a sophomore with the highest GPA in all of C's. This year, the Tau Beta Pi Outstanding Sophomore Prize is William Miller of Computer Science. Next, we have several awards honoring graduating seniors, and we begin with the Best Senior Design Project Award in each department. So each of our 6 departments had to select one Best Senior Project, only one. So, and I think most of them may have tossed a coin. So we'll start alphabetically with the Department of Biomedical Engineering. So the Best Senior Design Project from the Department of BME is the ECG Analysis Toolbox. This project offers a user-friendly tool for physicians and other researchers to apply various signal processing techniques to ECG signals and allows matching signal features to clinical diagnosis of the heart. Please join me in congratulating the following students who invited to the front to accept their award: Sarah Foreman, Sang-Won Lee, Sophie Malad, Isabel Verghese, and Jin Zhu. The Best Senior Design Project from the Department of Civil and Environmental Engineering is the 15-story steel frame building design. The project team designed the structural elements and foundations for a 14-story building in Daly City, California. Their work included designing the beams, girders, columns, bracing system, connections, and foundations to safely withstand the gravity, seismic, and wind loads in the area. Please join me in congratulating the following students: Khalid Al-Sadan, Edna Aguilar, Jiangnan Liu. The next project to be recognized is from the Department of Computer Science. This particular award is named in honor of Arnold C. Meltzer, a former faculty and alumnus of SEAS. The winner of this year's Arnold Meltzer Best Senior Design Project is EasyStack. EasyStack is a distributed database with a built-in data denormalization platform. It provides a highly efficient, scalable, and eventually consistent way to store and retrieve data. Please join me in congratulating the following students: Benjamin DeVore, Bishoy Gennady, Samuel Given. Additionally, the Computer Science Department presents the Gary and Judy Bard Entrepreneurial Award. This prize was endowed by a SEAS alumnus and is awarded to a project that is deemed the best CS project with an e-commerce focus. This year, the winners of the Gary and Judy Bard project is People Movement, optimizing the movement of people on foot. It's an app for orchestrating the movement of people on foot while detecting crowds around the city and navigating to avoid these crowds to improve travel time. Please join me in congratulating the following students: Kate McNally, Shakid Rotlevi. The next project to be recognized is from the Department of Electrical and Computer Engineering. This particular award is named in honor of Daryl Rolfs, a former faculty member. This year, Daryl Rolfs' Best Senior Design project from the Department of ECE is the Autonomous Tracking Vehicle. The purpose of the Autonomous Tracking Vehicle is to carry cumbersome loads for handicapped individuals and follow them through areas where a wheelchair is expected to go. Please join me in congratulating the following students: Paul Azzi, Christopher Lang, Zachary McNulty. Next, we get to EMSC. The Best Senior Design project from the Department of Engineering Management and Systems Engineering is Effective Staffing for the National Response Coordination Center, a systems engineering approach. Motivated by FEMA's need, the system provides an effective scheduling tool to schedule personnel for shifts at the National Response Coordination Center during emergency activation. Please join me in congratulating the following: Shelby Groomer, Kai Frisek, Jillian Diarigo. The next and final project to be recognized is from the Department of Mechanical and Aerospace Engineering. This year's Best Senior Design project from the MA department is Strata, a ground robot for rough terrain. This project created a mobile, ground-based rover that could traverse through rough terrain, and included an autonomous navigation system using infrared depth sensors, localization system, and obstacle avoidance algorithms. Please join me in congratulating the following students: Scott Barnes, Christopher Poole, Sanjana Reddy, Reina Tamura, Anna Rose Valaika, and Connor Varley. Congratulations to all the best senior design project winners and for all the seniors who have made it through senior design. So next, we present several awards that recognize the outstanding achievements of our graduating students. The first such award is the Abdel Fattah Abdallah Prize. This prize, endowed by colleagues in memory of a former chair and faculty, is awarded to an electrical and computer engineering or biomedical engineering or computer science student for outstanding scholarship and service to their respective departments. This year, the Abdel Fattah Abdallah Prize is awarded to Robert Gifford. Sandra just reminded me that I should have said this prize money and the checks will be in the mail. I'm not going to be pocketing the checks. So, okay. It's just not in the script, so I kind of forgot to read it. So the next award is the Norman B. Ames Award. This award is given on behalf of the Engineers Council to seniors who have made significant contributions to the student body, to SEAS, and to the university community. This year, the Norman B. Ames Award is presented to 3 seniors: Emma Crockett, Isabel Verghese, and Philip Paulson. The next award is the Martin Mahler Prize. This prize was established in 1953 as a gift from Martin Mahler. It is presented to an undergraduate who submits the best reports and tests in the materials labs class. This year, the Martin Mahler Prize is awarded to Colby Bott from CEE. The final award given today, there are lots more tomorrow, is the George Elowitz Prize. This award was established by Robert L. Morris in honor of George Elowitz and is awarded to a graduating senior who demonstrated a broad interest beyond engineering and technical subjects through past and present participation and or study in the humanities. This year, the George Elowitz Prize is presented to Jillian Miles. No, you're done. You can have a seat. No more awards till tomorrow. So now I ask everyone to join me in one more round of applause to all the winners and all the graduates here. So in closing, I'd like to convey how very impressed we all are by all the student presentations and achievements this evening and in the past 4 years that we've seen you. I also commend you for your dedication, perseverance. We all know engineering requires a lot of that, and hard work through the last 4 years. You're due for a grand celebration, or as they say, party on, right? So, as old fogies say, party on, right? In addition, I'd like to ask each student to stay connected, right? Come to visit. Update us on how you're doing. Maybe serve as judges for some of these competitions, right? One of our greatest strengths as a close-knit community is our relationship with our alumni. So I wish you all the best in your future personal and professional endeavors. And I have one final pop quiz for you. Are you ready to graduate? There's no enthusiasm. I think they want to stay here longer. Are you ready to graduate? Okay, that's more like it. Okay, so if you are, a quick and important reminder, join us for the C's graduation ceremony tomorrow. That's Friday. So C's will host a reception in SEH, the first floor and outside the green area right there, from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. All graduates will begin check-in at 5:45 in Funger Hall, but before that, the plan is to call all the seniors to the third floor for the senior photo shoot at 5:30 p.m. Right? So the graduation ceremony will begin promptly at 7 p.m., we hope. So, and now, please join us outside for a reception to celebrate all the graduates and the awardees. Thank you.